Oh crap, my knife's blunt. I know just the man who will sharpen this. Time for a trip to go see Esra. Kia ora, I'm Matthew.
And I'm Esra.
Today we're going to show you how to buff up and sharpen the swarf skinning knife.
Sweet. Alright, so I'm going to do a wee bit of a re-profile on the edge here. It's a real, it's an aggressive convex at the moment, which is basically, it's a grind you put on an axe. It's not extremely useful on a knife like this, so I'm going to put what's called a saber grind on it.
What are we going to do now, Esra?
Alright, so I've put a bit of a V-grind on it. Also a tip when you're using any sort of a belt sander or a grinder with your knife is you want to dip it into water as often as you can so you're not going to ruin the temper on it. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go sharpen this knife and then we're going to hone it as well.
So what's the difference between an oil stone and a dry stone?
Alright, so the main... so the two types of stone that you essentially get when you're talking about the cheaper hardware stones is you get a water stone and an oil stone. And you can always use water on a stone up to the point where you put oil on it. So once you've put oil in it, it goes into the pores of the stone and then you always have to use oil. So I like to use oil stones when I'm at home here sharpening, but I carry a wet stone in my pack if I'm going on a longer range like a hunt, because then you don't have to carry oil with you or anything like that. So I'm going to crack into sharpening this, and what I use for honing oil, I just use a bit of baby oil because it's real fine, it's real thin, it's actually food safe as well, which is handy, and it's like $1 a bottle or something as opposed to honing oil.
And you can use it on your baby too, I suppose.
Well, you can. Right, so just a bit on there. You don't want to put too much oil on your stone because you want it to be quite abrasive, so it's going to take the fine shavings of the metal off your knife. So I've just gone directly onto the finer side because I've got a relatively fine edge on here with the belt sander. So you just want to lay your knife on your stone, and then you just want to tip up until you feel the edge of your bevel there, which should be about the 22 degrees or so. So yeah, just tip it up, and then you just want to act like you're taking a slice out of your what do you call it, your stone. And you want to count how many times you're doing it.
Can you tell by the sound of it if it's getting sharp?
You can actually. You should hear less of a grating sound, and it should be a lot smoother as you start to polish it. So basically you're polishing the edge of your knife. So you can see the edge of it. I find it useful to use a torch. So you want a good shine on it and you can't see with your naked eye, but there'll be a real fine sort of a serration on the edge. One way to tell actually is to give it a lick. You can really feel just the real fine like serrations on there. You have to be careful doing that though. Alright, so the next part we're going to go on to honing, which is, so often when you're sharpening, so your edge is kind of like that and it's often off to one side. When you hone it, you pull it all up. So you've got your wee like serrations there like that, but they're all sort of lined up. So a lot of people call using your steel, they call it sharpening, but you're not, you're actually honing. So you have to have a sharp knife and then you maintain it using your steel. So how I do it, there's all sorts of theories about how to properly use your steel. Do I have it on a table or a hard surface, or if I'm in the bush I use my leg. And then you just want to go again about the same angle that you were using on the, what do you call it, the stone. And you just want to go down it like that. You shouldn't have to do it a lot of times, about 10 if you've got a decent edge on there. Alright, so the next part is you want to drop your knife. The most common thing you see people talk about in that respect is to use a piece of leather, but I find actually that paper works quite well with ink on it. I saw this on a YouTube video and I tried it, and it's worked reasonably well, and I don't actually know the science behind it. So, but you just want to, you want to take your edge and you want to go backwards on it. So you just want to do this. Same on the other side. Alright, so we're going to do a bit of a paper test. Traditionally this does not work when you're on camera.
Cheers Esra for helping us make this video. Make sure you go check out his channel, and thanks for watching. Esra Hansen knife reviews.
What is my channel name?
Sustainable, no.
Esra Hansen Outdoors and Self-Reliance. Which is very complicated, but it sounds very professional.